Well, let's move into the real present, if we like.
Let's do it, Danny.
The Rugby World Cup has started.
Yes.
Obviously, Ireland are going to win, and we know that. But
they've got a good chance,
Well, I think the draw's been very unkind. I think they might meet France in the quarterfinals.
They've got
That's
the
me
best
getting my
framework.
excuse in earlier.
They've got the best attacking formation, which is the most consistent.
And they've got depth too, haven't they?
They
Provided
do.
Sexton stays fit, they've got
The players.
depth.
They're good players, but their attacking framework's the best. And within rugby, if you have a good framework and a good shape that you can consistently fall upon, you're actually going to make huge strides.
England won their first match, but they've had a terrible run. What do you make of the England team?
I think right now, Steve has inherited a team that has had 6 to 7 years drilling of playing under a coach that leads by fear. And when I say that, it's all stat-based, it's all outcome-based. And I'm not saying that's a negative thing on him, but that's just the way he leads. And you see that with how he speaks to the media and the way he addresses people and the turnover of staff and all the injuries within the players. So I'm not sure he knew how deep it ran, but now he's in it. He definitely, with Wiggy, who's a great attack coach, and Kevin Sinfield, who's obviously got a great character to him, there's a longer plan to transition them out into joy and expressing themselves. And you already hear the players talk. They're talking as such, and it's going to take a bit of time. The fact they got a win in the World Cup under all the pressure they were under is a great sign. Like, George Ford had a fantastic game, kicked some phenomenal drop goals. Even when they didn't look like they were going to go and push the boundary and score the tries, they found a way to win.
Under pressure, wasn't it, by Ford?
Unbelievable to find a way to win. But the long-term plan will look very different to what they need to do in this World Cup, which is pick up wins. And if they do it in that fashion, no one's going to care, because Steve and Wiggy know in the long term, because they're both good family men who have beautiful families that they look after, and they're the type of people you want to follow, the people that say the type of things that inspire you, nothing that's going to take away. And the previous reign was quite a negative, detrimental, talking down current state, so... But right now, if they just pick up wins, I think they're going to have a great competition. They've got a slightly easier side of the draw.
Definitely.
But they've also got a lot of talented players within the group that can, push the boundary and do something on the day. And
it's professional sport, anything could happen. But I'm going to ask you, who do you think might win it? At this moment, when you're looking at the field.
Originally, I said France and South Africa, but they've both had little injuries. But I'm still leaning on South Africa at the moment with Ireland too. Yeah, he's a good player, but they've just got an unbelievable system and a group and a culture that you can't buy on a clipboard. You can't go in there and be like, this is the culture. Like it's actually a genuine, it's proper soul involved, man. Like from Sia to Eben to Willie to all the boys that are involved.
Amazing. It's a
phenomenal character, man. And to turn your pain to purpose and into love in the way he plays and the way they lead as a group, like that's the inspiring part of them as a nation.
Well, look, the last half an hour has been really, really interesting to me and enlightening. I think anybody listening to it will get the gist that this is not an ordinary sports book. The second we've had on here today, by a long way, but very different, of course. I'm going to say to you again, it's called Who Am I? Danny's lovely face is beaming out the front of it there. And if you want to read something about the hinterland way beyond the sports field and how the two things interact and change through the corkscrew progress of one person's life, then I really can recommend it to you as well. It's published by one of the big
Danny,
publishers.
I appreciate that, mate.
No, Danny, it's easy. Anyone can write, and then I did this, and then I did that, and then I did the other.
Yeah.
The trick is, and of course, I've judged the William Hill for the Sports Book Awards for a quarter of a century. There's millions of books still getting published like that.
Yeah.
But they don't need to be on here, though. We need to get the ones that are more interesting. And thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about the book.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.